Yes, people, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So we hear Manchester United have bid £50 million for Mason Mount. Mason Mount today, who was at the F1 and was questioned after Ben Chilwell told Martin Brundle that he was going to Manchester United. He was questioned on a possible transfer and began to blush as well. And it looks like Manchester United could be lodging their first bid for the player, with the player looking set to leave Chelsea this summer with his contract expiring in 12 months. We'll be getting stuck into that, as well as some post-match reaction following that game, Manchester United's final game of the season, and the disappointing end to the season with that defeat at Wembley in the FA Cup final against Manchester City. Obviously, in the grand scheme of things and overall this season, a third place finish, a trophy in the bag with the Carabao Cup, quarterfinals of the Europa League, and of course get into that FA Cup final. It's a better season than many predicted, and it's been a season of progression for Manchester United, but we still have a long way to go if we want to bring back Manchester United's Premier League title, and of course make it 21, and we want to start challenging for that Champions League, and of course bringing things home like the FA Cup. Manchester United have to improve, and it looks like we could be trying to make those improvements immediately as soon as the season ends, which could be a little bit refreshing. Obviously, we've still got that backdrop, that cloud over us in terms of what's going on with the Glazers. Are they leaving? Are they staying? What is happening there? You know what I mean? Are we going to finally get rid of them anytime soon? And when is that going to happen? Because the longer it goes on, it means that the new owners can't come in and potentially, you know, help us in terms of transfers and things like that. You know, there's going to be a change. There's going to be a transition. They may want to bring in their own people. That could have a huge impact on our summer transfer window. But it looks like Erik ten Hag is trying to pull strings and make things happen early. And Manchester United are reported to have made a £50 million bid for Mason Mount. Yes, £50 million, which, you know, Mason Mount could be one of many signings which could improve Manchester United. Now, if he's the only midfield signing for Manchester United, I don't think it's the one signing that's going to, you know, revolutionise our midfield. But I think it could be a very good choice in the squad. I think it could be a very good option as well. And if he's one of two midfielders, say, that come in this summer, I think it could be a very, very shrewd move for Manchester United. We'll get stuck into that story. Before we do, though, do me a favour, hit that subscribe button right about now. I had my reaction up yesterday as well from Wembley, which you can check out after we are finished here. So this is the report from the Telegraph. It says Manchester United have made a £50 million bid for Mason Mount and prepare the Harry Kane move. Exclusive. United are ready to move for the England pair, but remain unsure about the feasibility of prying Kane away from Spurs. We also hear at the moment, with Karim Benzema's future confirmed as being away from Real Madrid, we're also hearing that Harry Kane could be a target for Real Madrid, and they may be about to lodge a £100 million bid, which I think if Real Madrid come in for him, I know Harry Kane wants to stay in England, but if they come in for him, I think Spurs are only going to want to do business with one club. And if you're looking at spending 100 million plus on getting the player, I don't think that's going to happen personally. Not yet anyway, especially with the fact that we have to do other business as well. Obviously, it is important that we get a striker in. We really do need a striker. You look at that cup final, we were lacking a number 9 and we were lacking a number 1 in between the sticks. I know David De Gea was there, but he's not been great for Manchester United in a while. And those goals that we conceded was so savable, man. It's annoying. But this article anyway, I'm not going to go back over that right now, is Manchester United are to make an offer of £50 million to sign Mason Mount this month. The club will also push Tottenham Hotspur to sell Harry Kane, but currently it's believed it is unlikely to happen, and United are set to back manager Erik ten Hag and are also targeting signing a left winger and another midfielder in addition to Mount. Another midfielder in addition to Mount would be excellent and just what we need. A left winger is interesting. Now, that opens up the possibility that we may get a striker, and Rashford's also used down the middle. There's been talk about Rasmus Højlund potentially coming into Manchester United. If he was to come in, you use Rashford through the middle. You've got another left winger. You've got Anthony, Sancho, as well as your wingers, Garnacho. So you'd have plenty of options there in terms of your wide areas. It says there are no plans at present to spend significant money on a goalkeeper, and a new deal for David De Gea, whose current contract runs out at the end of this month, is expected to be announced shortly. If we can't get a goalkeeper, then next season we're not going to challenge for the league. It's that simple, really. Unless Dean Henderson somehow comes through, fulfills the potential that, you know, we saw in him like a year or so ago and becomes Manchester United. We're not... David De Gea isn't... I don't think, and it pains me to say this, he's not going to be a number one in a team that wins the Premier League or Champions League. Those times are just gone now. And I think if he was still our number one, let's say we managed to get ourselves into a position where we're challenging for the league. Yes, there's going to be moments where he saves you. And look, he got that Golden Glove and 19 clean sheets. But there's so many moments when he lets you down, man, along the way. And it's disappointing to watch. It says, De Gea came under scrutiny again after performance in the cup final with questions as to whether he was at fault for Gundogan's winning goal. But terms have already been agreed with the 32-year-old. United are progressing with a deal to sign Mount, with Telegraph Sport revealed last week. Personal terms not an issue for the Chelsea midfielder. And as I said, he was on the he's at the F1 today, and he was on the grid walk. And Martin Brundle's gone up to him, and Ben Chilwell has cheekily said to Martin Brundle that he's going to Manchester United, and pointed at Mason Mount, who then seemed to blush and kind of bat it away. If I was a Chelsea fan, I'd be fuming that, you know, one of your players is doing that. Now, it could be the case that Mason Mount isn't joining Man United, but because of the rumours that are out there, Ben Chilwell is just being stupid and trying to get Martin Brundle away from him and get the focus onto Mason Mount. That is a possibility, but it's looking ever more likely that Mason Mount leaves Chelsea, and all the other potential bidders that were in for him, it's all gone quiet with them. I think Arsenal, Liverpool were linked with him as well, and it's looking like Manchester United are the ones that could make it happen. Chelsea need to bring in some money before the end of the month and all that. As we read previously, the Telegraph have already reported that he agreed terms with Manchester United. That was in the last week, just before, I think it was just before the Chelsea game actually. And you know, you look at that, those reports coming out, it's not a case of the player and whether the player wants to join the club, it's whether United can get this deal agreed with Chelsea. Now, £50 million, I think Mason Mount is worth that with what, 4 years on his contract, with 1 year left on his contract? Probably not. But as that's as high as the bidding goes, then I wouldn't be too gutted in terms of if Manchester United can get him for £50 million, and there may be, you know, add-ons and instalments and all sorts included in that. United believe an offer of £50 million is a fair price for the England international, who's enjoyed a difficult campaign at Chelsea and crucially only has 1 more year left on his contract. Even so, Chelsea expected to demand substantially more for the academy product, but United also know they need to sell this summer to reduce their squad size, balance their books, and provide funds for their new head coach, Mauricio Pochettino. Chelsea do not want to let Mount go, but must generate income by June the 30th to ease FFP worries, which is financial fair play, after spending £600 million in the past 2 transfer windows. So it may be a case that United allow it to edge closer towards that deadline, so that Chelsea are probably in a position where they look to just cash in and take a lower fee for the player. But it also may be a case that United are looking to get that bid in there now, so we can get the deal over the line early doors, and that's 1 player in. It says Liverpool and Arsenal are also interested in Mount, but there's a growing confidence that he will sign for United, with Ten Hag earmarking him for the key number 8 role to provide more dynamism to the midfield. Voices going after Wembley yesterday. Mount is versatile and can play an even more attacking role also, which adds to his appeal. So yeah, it looks like it could be on his way. And it looks like that could be to Manchester United, but possibly Harry Kane's not happening, because you read the reports at the moment in regards to Harry Kane, and it looks like United may be priced out of that for one, and also, you know, Real Madrid are now coming in for him, and if Real Madrid want him, then Spurs I think will want to sell to him more likely to Real Madrid, because it means they can get a fat transfer fee, obviously, for a player with 1 year left on his contract. But also they'll sell him to a non-Premier League rival, which is probably their ideal thing. I think if they look to sell him to an English club and Harry Kane kind of pushes back on that Real Madrid move and says, no, I want to leave and I want to join Manchester United or whoever the English club is, then I just can't see. I can't see them doing a deal. I think he ends up. I was kind of confident we'd sign him, and now I just think it's Real Madrid or Spurs. He'll be wearing a white kit next season, And he probably won't leave on a free either, because he doesn't strike me as the player that's got the balls to do that. Probably sign a new bumper deal with Spurs and stay there to the rest of his career. I don't know. If you're Harry Kane, surely you've got to kind of look for the betterment of your career and look to go and win some trophies. But it's up to him, innit? What does he want? Anyway, let us know your thoughts. What do you want? Do you want Mason Mount at Manchester United? Do you want Harry Kane? Let us know your thoughts. Obviously, disappointment after that game yesterday. I'll do an end of season review as well, which I'll probably release tomorrow. But yeah, keep it locked. We'll have much more coming your way. Like breaking news such as this. See you in a bit.